There's so much evidence here that I'm right, that Leonard Porter Houdini, that he was behind the script of Gail Burstyn and the AIDS attack. There's so much evidence for it that I'm not going to assemble it or make any sort of preparations. And people look at me and shudder when I say John Lennon faked his death. One reason is because they've been dancing to the puppet strings of the idea in ways that have been absolutely indiscriminate. It's, the whole idea of it was a long time planning. That's why it was a crime waiting to happen. And that's why there's so much brazen evidence for it, because it was a mission impossible. They knew about the Fiddlers of Auschwitz. They ran a trial run with Apollo is Dead magical mystery story, and they had that film starring that Japanese woman called You Only Live Twice. The only thing they had yet to do is pull it off. Shudder all you want to. You're telling a lie that's built in absolute fear. It's dogma, it's doggerel, and it takes no cognizance of the reality, the evidence, or the facts. I was gassed in a place called Kings Estate by pitmen, which is like quarrymen, which was the name of their band when they were in Germany. We're talking about a man who publicly made clear his intention to step out and leave behind his book about how to deal with the genocide that he and his minions planned all along to unleash. It would be like starting over, says a Tama De Jong look-alike of Gail Burstyn, holding her ears clapped over, hands clapped over her ears. Why? How so very much like this Neva Corporation image and the snipers? Because of Hiroshima. Why else would they plant it on me? And by lying about all of this, they seized control and they lied about all of it. If they weren't lying about all of it, they would have arrested Gail Burstyn. Instead, her look-alike, her mesmer, her identity, her Tamo De Jong appears on the cover of a friend of John Lennon in advance of the operation. Um, Frippy Toon was plotting this. This is from the early 60s. John Lennon look-alike appeared in a Mothra film with the woman from You Only Live Twice, the Japanese woman, dressed like a Yoko Ono gorilla. And so, you see, there was an old story where a newspaper said Dewey defeats Truman, and Truman laughed and it made history. But there was a subtext we now know. They were making a mockery of the idea that America had defeated Hitler. And they were playing a game of wait and see. They were playing a game of wait and see if that proves to be true in the Trumpy tune end. So you see, it's a lie of fear. It's a lie of fear that the totalitarians knew how to cultivate. They knew very well. They did a trial run in Dealey Plaza. And here's one of the masters of ceremonies. He came to America in 1920s and was greeted as a hero on Wall Street. That man in the middle with Wallace Simpson. He was greeted as a hero on Wall Street, and his lecture to the people included the statement that Hollywood belonged in the hands of the Church of England. And here we find Gail Burstyn again at Seattle Center. You see, so what am I saying? Tell me again. You shudder and roll your eyes when you hear that this is the back of my father's obituary. You shot, and this is one of the letters. Only two people would know. Only you would be one of them. Only two people would know. You shudder when I say it's a lie of fear that John Lennon really died and did not pull a Houdini, was not behind the AIDS attack. When in reality, that's exactly what it was, a lie. He pulled a Houdini. He was the master of ceremony who went into the fourth dimension from which to manipulate. That's the whole reason why Frippy Toon was at the jumping holler, prancing and wiggling about the Ouspensky idea. Ouspensky was the idea that Ouspensky was the idea that from 1910, 1920s, Picasso and Prokofiev worked on together, of a complete panorama, including skyscrapers, brochures that communicated from the fourth dimension, the astral plane, the conjurings of their message. And they just simply put all sorts of ideas into one place. See, the film Metropolis, where she becomes a robot, they put all their ideas in one place. He says, "Also after the flash of light, also Pittsburgh," he goes. You see, here's the problem. The problem isn't shudder, oh my God, I can't believe you think that's true. The problem is that it is what? True. It's a lie of fear to say John Lennon didn't pull a Houdini and that he really died. In Casablanca, you see one of the bigwigs from Hollywood over here, Ingrid Bergman. She got her start. She was personally couch cast by Goebbels. She got her start in Hitler's cinema. The symbol of the underworld in Casablanca is a double cross. That's right. We're dealing with British Axis compatriots who think they have a plan that can never a foolproof plan. That's what they think. They have a magical mystery plan. But who is Aleister Crowley, one of the gibberers of Senegalese Venice, Ouspensky? Who is he but a mentor of Oswald Mosley, who you can see with his favorite, Adolf Hitler. And so you see, like symbols, oh, we don't know what symbols mean, right? This is a naval barracks in California. Nobody was allowed to know about it until it made it to Chinese television. Somebody from Google Earth found it. Well, we're not allowed to, well, that doesn't mean anything. This is a symbol of the people who tortured and gassed me and set up genocide porno. They sent the script from Israel. That doesn't mean anything. These things don't mean anything. You can't recognize what those mean. No, put those down. Those are not. There's no reason in the world that you should think that rather us with the U.S. over the swastika means anything. Even when you find an image on the reel of the film that shows um, a bust of Hitler next to Reagan under the U.S. next to the swastika with Errol Flynn, who met with Hitler in a film made by the people who used the first use of burning cross for the KKK. The NAACP says no. The NAACP says they have good money protecting the Crow-Cag reduced to Corona. So we don't know what these symbols mean. So let's just knock that off. No, no, we don't see anything suspicious in this. No, you're not allowed to wonder what's going on now. You're not allowed. No, that's a friend of Kim Kardashian. And the reason is because it's all been figured out by Grima Wormtongue. It's all been figured out. because he is the walrus. Screamer is the walrus. And the NAACP is going to take no but sissify talk when they know what they can get for the photograph of JFK and Dealey Plaza, and they licky chops for that. Yes, sir, they licky chops. Here's one of the men of the steeple, the holy steeple, with Leni Riefenstahl, who was Adolf Hitler's filmmaker. We don't know why. We don't want to know why. Oswald's army ideas from the anniversary of Pearl Harbor. No, we don't talk that way. We don't talk that way, Abdul. We don't talk that way, Abdul. And he wasn't just making sport of queerball when he sent, "Will you be my favorite fan and name your children after me?" How's that? If that wasn't John Lennon, who was it? They have him right on the cover. They have him right on the cover. They have his spokesperson right on the cover of one of Trippy Tune's records before he did his disappearing act. There's a look-alike of the woman who penned the script on the cover of God Save the Queen. What's going on? What'd you find there, little boy? Better hand it over here. Better over here, hand it over here, because that's worth money. Yes, indeed. It's a lie of fear. John Lennon pulled a Houdini. This was his whole master plan. And those crocodile tears, Ringo Starr willy-nilly forced himself to weep while he was crying for poor humanity. Yes, indeed.